Hi, Bill Henshaw here again, another one of my YouTube current events videos. And this one is another troubling area that's occurred, especially with regard to the COVID pandemic BS that we've been going through for almost the entire year. And who knows when it's going to end, quote unquote. Um, and that is people have a problem, paying off their mortgage. And I say that with a capital MORT, mort, and there's a good reason for it. I'm here to offer you some help with that, and I'm going to do it on some very liberal terms because I realize how important it is, and I realize the unprecedented opportunity we have to make some real changes in the just us system based on this, especially the money issue, which is the key here with mortgages. Because the problem they have is, among other things, it's a common law contract, and after all, we're supposed to be in common law states, are we not? With the exception of Louisiana. You have to have substance on both sides for a valid agreement. Guess what? They don't have any. Okay, the Federal Reserve notes that we use and we're forced to use at this point in time represent our property in the form of our time and labor. We have a right to that. And that's it, just the way it is. Creator endowed inalienable right, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. On their side, all you do is tap on a few computer keystrokes, transfer quote unquote money to your account, and that's the end of it. You're the one that has to go out there and work your ass off 30 years, if not more, to pay off the damn mortgage loan. Yeah, you instinctively know there's something seriously wrong with this, and I'm here to fill in a lot of blanks so you and I can do something about it. And as I said, I'll do it for a very modest investment. You get my document packets and send me an email about that, youwinningcourt@gmail.com. And I'll get you information about those. A small monthly retainer, and I'm willing to take as much risk as you here, figuring that I may not win them all, but we're not going to lose them all either. And we have major big deal issues here that probably won't even require us to file a complaint. It's a big deal here is and how much power we have. One issue, if we get it decided on the record, particularly by the 9-0 parts, aka the U.S. Supreme Court, and that's not as long a journey as you may think it is. It invalidates every mortgage from Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon, and they know it. That's what they can't have come out in the open. Once that happens, the ball game is over. So that's said, and even if you quote unquote paid off your mortgage, and the U.S. Supreme Court, by the way, says you can't do that, at least with paper money, you discharge the obligation, the debt's still due. Another big issue that you'll learn by getting my constitutional defense document packets. Send me an email, youwinningcourt@gmail.com. Sends you out information on what I have very modestly priced, recently reduced prices, by the way, with the holidays and the ongoing COVID crap. So that'll be a big help. And in effect, you'll get services from me for hardly more than what you would pay a regular state bar association attorney, maybe for 2 hours worth of their work, which is expensive at best. And I know a hell of a lot more than they do, and my record confirms it. Having walked out of that South Carolina jail cell after I stunned the courtroom into silence in the first 30 seconds. That's a video I'd love to have, by the way, $1 million video, which they claim not to have made. This in a court of record. 30 seconds. The entire remainder of my stay, the DA didn't say two words to me, didn't have a clue what to do, didn't understand the issues, probably didn't care, but they knew I had them, and I did. And then I came back and won a recent Oakland felony case. I got the kid off 14 felonies with the time served plea deal. And the district attorney there was dismissive of us, especially the assistant DA handling the case at first. Was dismissive and couldn't care less and wanted to give the kid the maximum time almost certainly. And by the way, if we had gotten that far, that would have allowed another state bar association attorney, aka Black Robe Bastard, to impose a sentence on this kid for in effect invoking rights secured by the Constitution. That's how corrupt this system is. But I beat him here with that because they quit. They refused to go to trial. They could not have me on the witness stand. They couldn't have the kid's mom on the witness stand, and they couldn't put him on the stand. The three of us would have been a powerful trio of voices, and the jury probably wouldn't even had to leave the room, to hand down the verdict of not guilty. So they finally figured that out, and all the consequences that would have entailed. And that's the power we have. You just didn't learn it in the mandatory public education system. Neither did I 50 years ago. I had to go out and do it myself. And over the course of 5 decades, I have. And I'm offering my materials to you at a very reasonable rate. And you won't have to spend 10,000 hours in those musty old stacks of law books like I did at UC Berkeley and wherever back in the day when I could get in there. So that's the nice part. And you can then teach your kids and your posterity. So they'll have a great opportunity to get out from under the system before it has a chance to grab onto them. They'll understand how it works and stay the hell out of it if it still exists. That's my hope that long before that happens, it'll go out of existence. Whether I live to see that and cross the Red Sea, I don't know. But I certainly will have set the record for you and others that can follow me and finish the job. Get the bastards off our back. It's especially bad with mortgage banksters. And all you end up with, by the way, is an equitable interest in the property. You still don't own it. It may not be clear who does, but it ain't you. Equitable interest. And that's why I didn't come along and grab your property for any alleged legal violation, traffic court, taxes, and you're not a taxpayer, by the way, another thing you'll learn a lot about, and claim that they can do that basically without anything but an administrative hearing, if that. As I said in previous videos, the 90 parts have ruled, Enoch v. Williams, 370 U.S. 1, that a taxpayer, quote unquote, can be taxed out of existence without any apparent need for even an administrative hearing. And that makes sense if you think about it, because if you owe your birthright citizenship to the 14th Amendment, non existent, and I've got a brief on that shows you it doesn't exist. If you do, they think you're an artificial corporate entity and they own you. And if that's the case, you have no rights which the de facto national socialist government is bound to respect. I want to change all that. I want to help you to be able to change all that and make a big difference in your life and for all of us down the line here. So no one has to go through this crap anymore. That's the whole point of what I do, what I was put here to do. I just didn't know it 50 years ago, which is a damn shame if I had learned, but they didn't teach us either. But I found out, and now I'm bringing it to your attention. So if you want to check in with mortgages, and even if you paid it off, quote unquote, there's no statute of limitations on deceit, fraud, and treason, and we can prove all three of those things. And they know it. And they knew it from day one. They fraudulently induced you into a mortgage agreement they knew was dead on arrival. Known legally in Black Law Dictionary as null and void, nunc pro tunc ab initio. And there's no escape from that. It's just the way the law works. Goes back to the statute of frauds of 1679. Honest to God, it really does. So I'm here to help, and you'll have your work to do at your end. It won't be nearly what I had to put in 10,000 hours in those dusty old stacks of law books and other things that I do now 24/7. It's basically what I do is work hard to take this government down and out where it belongs. So that said, remember to like my videos, subscribe, tell your friends, get the word out. The more of us we have doing this, the quicker we get the bastards off our back. Whether we're Americans, Africans, Asians, you name it, we all suffer from the same maladies, sir. Thank you.